Also, could we have a roll call?
Craig Koshaw.
Here.
Bill Carbach.
Here.
Ken Meyer.
Here. You emailed a copy of our minutes from our October 1st meeting. If you have any corrections or amendments to those minutes.
I make a motion that we pass the minutes for October 8th. October 1st. Board of Worksmen.
I'd second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. First thing tonight, let's just bring this up while I got it right here, and that's these helicopter rides that Craig's talking about. Tell us a little more, Craig. It's a day that the kids are going to be going through the safety village at Workman Field?
I believe that's correct. It's October 26th, is that correct? On the date?
That's what it says, yeah.
And they wanted to do the opportunity. They come from Fort Wayne at the Bearfield, and they have their professional helicopter pilots land in Worthman Field when the kids are doing the safety park Halloween trick-or-treat stuff, and have helicopter rides.
Okay, now wait just a second. Calendar. Okay, the 26th is...
Is that a Saturday?
That's the trick-or-treat thing. That's a Saturday.
Saturday. Yep.
Okay, that's not the safety village where they do the... That's just a trick-or-treat thing.
My pardon.
Okay, that's okay. Still, there'll be more kids. And Mom and Dad will be with them, most likely. Any concerns from you, Chris?
Trick-or-treat?
No, for having a helicopter landing... Helicopter landing on Worthman Field? Several times, possibly? Okay. I don't have a problem with it. Don, you got anything?
I have a problem with it.
Okay. Nobody here from the parks to ask them, so I guess...
No, it should be fine.
Okay. Looks good to me.
I have to recuse myself, so you would make a motion. I'll make a motion.
Who's sponsoring this, Craig? Who sponsors this?
The chamber will take care of
Oh,
those.
Chambers doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chamber, California Committee, and we'll make sure that the insurance is covered between us, the chamber, and then the city, whatever.
So they hold a $1 million insurance policy
I believe they
to
do.
name the city, event, and the other entity necessary as an additional insured. So, Bill, you got a motion?
I made the motion.
A second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next thing, I have to make the letter from IDEM that the city has complied, and the matter is closed pertaining to the effluent limitation violations at the waste treatment plant. Yeah, Carrie and I got a letter from IDEM saying that that was taken care of, and we're good to go now. So I wanted to make that a matter of record.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And then also today I got a letter from IDEM in reference to the solid waste Adams County Regional Sewer District, that they have submitted their permit for construction in the Bobo area, the Revar Bobo area. So let's make that a matter of record also.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
What was the first one with IDM? I'm sorry.
The first one was that our waste treatment plant, where they sent us the nastygram, that we're off their list now on that. Would you like to have that?
Waste treatment plant is cleared from any violations?
Yeah.
So is this one made a matter, was there a
Both of
motion?
them, make them both a matter of record. Did somebody make a motion for that second one?
I did.
Bill did.
Craig second?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, next thing, we'll do the bids for the Hannah-Nutman fencing, backstop, and net system. Need to make a matter of record that this was, the legal notice was posted.
Yep. So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
What was this bids?
These are bids for Hannah-Nutman backstop and...
The fencing, the backstop, and net. Wall net.
Backstops. Fence.
and netting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, it was advertised for that we would accept sealed bids.
For Hannah Nutman fencing and backstop wall net system. First bid submitted is submitted by Orange Sea Fence, Inc. out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. We will complete all fence work. Bid is signed. Non-collusion affidavit is executed. Bid bond in the amount of 5% of the bid is submitted. The bid is $74,730. $74,730. I don't know if this is just on the fencing or not. Jeremy will have to look at that.
That's the,
I think they were gonna drop off the netting, that includes the netting too.
and all the backstop wall, all that. This is just the fencing that goes out to both the foul lines and the home run fencing for the, okay. Perfect. Thank you.
All right.
Is that black coated?
The second bid is submitted by Custom Net Backstops out of Swayze, Indiana. Bid is signed, non-collusion affidavit is executed. Let's see. Look at this a little more carefully. The bid is $399,750. $399,750.
But what are they bidding? Is there some description of what they bid?
That's what I'm looking.
If you read the legal.
Okay. Yeah, well, what's on the legal and what they bid might be two different things. Like R&C didn't bid the whole thing, they just bid the fence.
I know, but I'm
So-
It just says that they'll start installing fence poles while simultaneously digging and pouring footers for the backstop walls. High-tension net poles will be installed. They lay the block for the walls and install sideline fencing, including the gates. And then cabling systems and net installation will follow.
So they didn't break it down.
There's details of it.
Were there any other bids submitted? Yeah, I would suggest that you take the bids under advisement.
Exactly.
I'll make a motion that we take these bids under advisement and then have the opportunity for the mayor to sign after discussing with
Jeremy.
Gilbert.
And Don.
Second,
Yeah, our Park and Rec supervisor is on vacation this week, so, but he's going to stop in tomorrow morning, so I would take a vote on that. I got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. we'll have Jeremy review it all, and I guess, what was your name again? Jason. Jason, if it's something that we can break into pieces, if it saves us money, we're all for it, you know. So, thank you.
Also, if you can take, once the bids are reviewed, if Jeremy can have the authority.
Absolutely. Yeah, he asked that
To
today.
sign, yeah.
Once the bids are once he's taken them under advisement, if a decision can be rendered from there, give me okay to...
That's what I made the motion to.
That's what you made.
Yep, that's in the motion
Okay.
for mayor to sign.
And all in favor on that?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right. Next thing that I have, police, Detective Gerber and,
We need to do the bids.
the bids for the salt have to be next. Okay. That's all right.
Follow the agenda.
I was.
I tossed that helicopter in there early, didn't I?
I need to make a publication notice, matter of record for the salt bids.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. All right, so now you got some bids.
Jimmy, you want me to take this bid?
Was that yours?
This is for salt bids?
This is,
This is for road
Annual
salt
salt bids.
and softening salt.
Road and salt softeners? Okay, so first,
gosh, we got more bids this time we've had in a long time.
well,
I send them letters.
first bid is submitted by,
It's been pretty lean on how many bids we got.
I don't know.
Why was this one already open?
Submitted by Midwest Salt out of West Chicago, Illinois. And it's a bid for street salt and salt for water treatment. I'm not gonna mess this today.
Anybody back there know what we paid for salt last time? Pull us those.
For the softening salt, it was $116.66 a ton.
116.66.
And for the street salt, $97.49.
97.49 for street.
Okay, there's a bid bond in the amount of 5% of the bid submitted. Is this 2019 then?
For 2020.
2020.
I meant last
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Yes.
Correct, it's for
That's
2019.
correct.
Thank you. Who's this one from, Jim?
This is Midwest Salt out of West Chicago, Illinois. The bid for the water treatment salt is $124 per ton. And that's to deliver 3,000 tons of salt. For street salt, 300 tons of street salt, the bid is $126.32 per ton. 126.32.
And the softener was, I'm sorry,
The softener was $124 per ton.
even?
Even.
And that was a Midwest?
Yep. Well, that's good. Salt, or the bid isn't signed.
Oh, jeez.
The street salt bid is signed.
But the softening
The softener is not.
That's who we got like that too, this year.
That's nice.
I don't understand. When it's notarized. So the notary notarized a signature that didn't exist.
Yeah, last year it was the opposite way for them. They didn't send the street bid, but they did
Okay.
the softening.
Carry on. All right. step back, I'll read the next one. Idiots. Next one is for street salt, submitted by Compass Minerals out of Overland Park, Kansas.
How do you spell that? What, Compass?
C-O-M-P-A-S. S. Again, I don't think this is going to be a valid bid.
Nothing in there.
It says they can't submit a bid.
No bid.
No bid.
All that opening, all these processes to say no. We won't get as many bids.
Wouldn't have bid.
Why even submit something? Okay, next bid is submitted by RBS Inc. out of Terre Haute. Bid is signed, non-inclusion affidavit is executed. Bid bond in the amount of 5% of the bid submitted for 3,000 tons of bulk water conditioning rock salt, $129.98 a ton for a total of $389,940. It's 129.98 per ton.
No street salt.
No street salt.
No streets.
This is somebody telling us they can't submit a bid, maybe?
Looks that way.
This is Morton Salt out of Chicago, Illinois.
No quote.
No quote on either one.
Is that it?
Yep. Oh, we got one more here, but this is the last one. Last bid is submitted by Cargill out of North Olmsted, Ohio, and it's for street salt.
Best price on that we're going to use.
You what?
Best price on this softener salt we're not going to be able to use.
Cargill is not submitting a bid.
No quote. Well, I take it back everything I said, fellas.
I would recommend that,
Take them under advice.
take them under advisement for rebid.
Well, we'll take them under advisement and see what,
Jeremy.
yeah.
Make a motion to take it under advisement.
Second, yeah.
And the street salt was almost $30 a ton more, fellas. No snow this winter, Matt. No snow.
Make sure of that.
The street salt's up $30 a ton.
We'll just put softener salt down. Softener on the feet.
By the time.
Okay, so that's the salt bids. Phyllis, do you care what I go to next? Now you don't, okay. So next, we'll go to the police department. Both of you guys want to come up, Kevin, Gerber? First time I ever seen you had hair on the side of your head. You always have it shaved.
And it's that pretty.
have
was
had...
long in high school.
Ready? A couple of things that they're here for. Lenny is on vacation. So first, Detective Gerber is here to talk about an upcoming purchase on a drone.
Yeah. So I put together some packets for you guys to look at. I'm sorry, Phyllis, I didn't think you wanted. So the front page there is just kind of an outline of about the air support unit as I'm referring to it. So in that packet, there's some pictures of the drone I'm looking at. There's one with the guy's hands holding it. I just put that in there as reference so you can see the size of it. It's a fairly small piece of equipment, but pretty powerful. This particular package comes equipped with 3 different attachments. There's a speaker, a spotlight, and a strobe light. So just say we're doing search and rescue, we can have the strobe light on it so all the people on the ground can see where it's at. So, hey, I found the person, they're over here. The drone hovers, everyone on the ground can go to that person. The speaker, we don't have a lot of large bodies of water around here, but one thing I was thinking of, we have a lot of grain silos. What if something happened to someone and they're stuck at the top of the grain silo? We could use that speaker to communicate with them, send a message to them, hey, we know you're here, we need you to do this, that, don't do this or that. The spotlight, you can put that on. It's a spotlight, you can turn it on and off as needed. The camera has 2 cameras built into it. There's an infrared camera and then there's a normal camera. And what it will do will overlay both images for you. So you're not just seeing the blotchy colors of what infrared looks like. This camera actually builds the structures of buildings, for instance, so you can actually tell what you're looking at. There's a picture in there of a guy laying in a field and what it looks like. I think the part you guys would be interested in is the how it's just going to operate, the legalities of it. Friday, Les and I went up to a meeting up at the Allen County Training Ground, and it was with Lieutenant John Bowers, who's in charge of their air support unit up there, and put it together and got it implemented. Very informative, very neat, how they are able to operate. So I, as a pilot, will have to go through some FAA clearance. I'll have to get what's called a Part 107. That is it's a $150 test that you have to take. They recommend at least 20 hours of studying before you take this test. It's to establish the rules of airspace, that you understand the importance of all that. And that would give you the ability to fly an unmanned aircraft. With the exception of you cannot fly at night, you cannot fly over groups of people, and you cannot fly in or near controlled airspace. So we would establish that for training. To work in conjunction with that is called the COA, and I think I spelled it wrong here. I think it's COAW. That's a certificate of authority or waiver. So that is where you would come into play, Tim. We would create this COA. You would basically vouch, yes, the city of Decatur, because that's how we would title it. The city of Decatur is a government entity, and they will operate this aircraft on government missions from time to time. And what the COA does is it waives you and gives you permission to fly at night, as long as it's mission-based, fly over groups of people if it's mission-based, fly in or near controlled airspace if it's mission-based, and lastly, all pilots are self-trained or certified through the city. And that's the only part the FAA is going to care about. They're going to say, well, how are you going to do that, City of Decatur? And we're going to say all pilots are going to be FAA Part 107 certified, and they go, perfect, because those are our regulations, and that means you'll be to our standards, and we'll go with that. And we'll be good to go in the aspects of that.
So does each of our pilots pay the $150?
Yeah, each pilot,
$150
each
per pilot
would pay $150 to take the test.
All right.
Right now it's 2 years. You have to recertify it every 2 years. John was talking there is some scuttle that they might be doing away with that as this becomes more prevalent amongst cities. but right now it's every 2 years that you pay. I would assume you pay the $150 every 2 years to recertify. It might be a lesser rate. John Summers, as an example, who's on our reserves, is already a pilot, or he has his pilot license. He would have to take, it's like a little 20, I think, question test just to verify that of what his knowledge is of air rules, and then he would get the blessing that he could fly an unmanned aircraft as well. Yeah. Now this, obviously I'm kind of excited about it. Where this really gets just amazing is the collaboration that can come along. And towards the back of that packet, there's a couple maps. And if you just go to the first map as an example, there's software. It's called DroneSense. I've talked with John August over at EMA today, just briefly. He's on board with helping with funding on this when it comes around for that time. So this is a U.S.-based company. All the information from that drone would go to them initially. One of the heads of that department, or of that company, is former FBI. They're very pro-law enforcement. They're CJIS compliant with their data. So it's not going to China and then coming back here. It's all staying here. But this keeps track of all telemetry data, everything, and we can't manipulate it. So we fly it for whatever reason, and we get a complaint. Hey, they're flying the drone and looking in my windows. Well, we can pull that mission log and look and see everywhere that drone went, how high it was, where it was pointing the entire time. You can review absolutely every bit of data from that. But what comes along with this is this program will grow, and it will grow once departments, not just law enforcement or fire, but once departments start seeing the capabilities of this. As an example, the Buckeye Pipeline last year, that happens. I was working that night a lot. Everyone's coming out. What's going on? They're looking. I think it's safe to say our interests as a community were not necessarily the same as the interests of that pipeline. We could have flown our aircraft and seen everything that we wanted to see. That the video feed would be live to your phone because you're in Florida on vacation, as an example, but there's something happening. You can be watching it on your phone live in real time and getting all this data. It can be being streamed to an emergency operations center where everyone's based. And everyone that's viewing this, they're all looking at something different. From the criminal realm, we're looking at things a little bit different than what maybe Les would be looking at things. But on a large operation, that's good because more eyes the better. So as you're looking at this and you notice, well, what is that over there? You can drop a marker. The pilot at his remote gets an indicator that there's a marker drop. Well, we want to see that area more, so the pilot just flies to that area and gets a better vantage point of that particular area. And as more departments acquire drones, and as they operate on this DroneSense, then you see 4 drone feeds, or you see 10 drone. As it continues to grow, you get all these feeds into this system, and it's very impressive. Fort Wayne was showing us what they have. They have, I think, 11 aircraft. They said since May of this year alone, and this is not apples to apples, but since May of this year, they've flown over 650 missions.
Wow.
That's not just training, that's just anytime they do that. So I've got funding secured for the drone. I've got some quotes for it. This isn't anything that we buy next week and we're able to start using immediately. We're going to have to
Get trained.
Go through the proper channels, get the training, get the FAA clearance. But I think the benefits far outweigh.
Les and Chris and I were talking today, and yeah, I mean, this is something that's just going to be standard commissioned police and fire gear one of these days. Just like Les has to keep his breathing apparatus up to date and whatever, this is going to become standard.
Yeah, I was starting to compile a list of, well, what can you use a drone for? And pretty soon I'm like, I got 2 pages, holy crap.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just from accident reconstruction, documentation, like the bus accident, here recently. You can put the drone up and it will 3D model the intersection or the crime scene if it's it's a major crime scene, and you just send it up and tell it what to do, and it's all automated. It flies it out and it spits out it's a computer 3D model that you can spin and look at from every single angle. It's amazing.
And Chris, you were sharing with me that this particular drone on the low-end models is the Cadillac of the low-end models,
Yeah.
but it's not anywhere close to the high-end
You're
models.
talking 20,000 for a cheap top end, 45 for a good low end. And Fort Wayne's got 11, John Bowers, a friend of mine, was coming up there. They'd come down for us before down here to help us out, so we had rushed process with those guys. So when Kevin, when these guys get trained, they might call us for help and vice versa, or they'd offer to come down before. And we had a guy drown a while back in the river. They can fly that river beforehand, put it up and hit a program that can go right on its own.
Yeah, like we can lay a lot of the groundwork ahead of time. Okay, so we know the river floods at different levels, so we can fly it at different levels and save those flight plans. So when the river crests at whatever foot we're at, and we have someone in the river, we can choose that flight path that's going to be so many feet above the water, where the water
And it flies,
down.
you don't have to fly it, it flies,
Yeah.
doesn't fly in any tree branches or anything? It
So
takes-
this drone has sensors front, back, front, bottom, left, and right that will, like if we had it in this room and I flew it towards the wall, it will stop. Unless I turn that feature off, it will not crash. Now you put a power line up, it might hit a power line. That's where you have training and know where to stay away from. But it's very automated.
We talked about Alzheimer's patients. We had a guy a while back, you guys were involved, north of town, he got lost. This has been perfect because you can pick up E2, Golden Meadows, those places like that, where you fly patterns out there and get a lay of the land, so person wanders off, or big child wanders off, we can...
Yeah, and this is Journey actually donated some money towards this.
Rita.
Yeah, she doesn't want any other families to experience that. And I was out there that night, and it was just it was foggy. But yeah, there's a lot of people out there looking for them.
Kevin, do you mentioned this COA. I assume Fort Wayne has that in place. Is that something you can get a copy of?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then secondly, do you have a policy? Does the department? Okay.
I'm probably going to copy and paste there. So he has a really solid policy
Okay.
here.
I was just going to suggest if we
For
need
example-
that.
Yeah,
Sounds
for
like
example, say we're flying it at Madison Street night. It's kind of a PR type thing to show people, and we put it up, and oh my gosh, there's a marijuana grow on the rooftop of one of the buildings downtown. Well, it works the same way as how we work now. I mean, if we're not looking for it, but we happen to see it, okay, well, you just take pause, and if we're going to go there, then we have to apply for a search warrant, and we can't just fly it and look for things. We still have to follow the laws and the rules.
Do you anticipate how many people in the department would be licensed or categorized as pilots? Do you need a certain number? Are you looking to have everybody certified?
There's probably one per shift, I would think, and then Kevin, I think the fireman want to get a couple of guys on board. Maybe if Jeremy Gilbert wants to get one, or we could use our guys for their stuff, for the parks or whatever, or any street department jobs we can help out
So it
with.
could be half a dozen to 8 people or so, ultimately.
And the thing with the COA, instead of saying it's the Decatur Police Department, we say it's the City of Decatur. That's going to be an umbrella for every department. So down the line, that Jeremy's like, man, we can really use this for parks a lot, and they acquire their own drone. That's all they have to do. They just have to acquire their drone, license it with the FAA, which is $5 to license it, and establish their pilot. And all the other, the basic groundwork is already done.
Has the state done a statewide bid that we can utilize, or is this something that we have to, you're saying the cost is somewhere around $45,000?
4,500.
4,500, I'm sorry.
4,500 would be a top line.
Okay.
Yeah, that gets into, when you start getting into the 5 figures, you're getting into So this drone that I'm looking at, I could fly through Belmont High School. I mean, as long as we have people in there, you could fly that through a large building, no issue. It's very small.
See, the
You
accuracy-
get into the 5-digit drone, they're much bigger. You can add payloads to them. There's some where you can add payloads that could actually drop. That's not anything that we would utilize, but people with like mountain rescue utilize those so they can drop packages to people that might be stuck on a rock slide or something. And then you get into, John said they're having one come up to Fort Wayne here soon. It's over $100,000, and it has sustained flight. I mean, it'll fly for hours, and it's more used, I believe, for hazmat. Has a lot of sensing tools on the nose of it.
How long does the battery last on this?
So flight time on this is going to be around 25 minutes to 28 minutes, depending on where your attachments are, and wind also plays into it. These, if you're flying and at any point you stop, it goes into an auto hover. So you can just put it up, and if it's real windy that day, your battery's not going to last quite as long.
Does it have like an auto return if you want to have it come back to you?
It does.
Yeah.
It's automatic. It knows. So let's say we put it up to fly a grid, a search grid, and it's flying it. It knows, okay, when I get here, I need X amount of battery to get back here. So it automatically will come back to you, land, you'll change out your battery, it'll go back up, and it'll go to where it stopped, and it'll keep going on the grid. It's amazing.
I know somebody who had a nice drone, you know, and took it out to his friend's house, and him and his friend were flying it and having a good time, and then the friend's little brother came up and wanted to fly it. And trying to be nice, he said, okay. And that was the last they saw of the drone. The drone took off and it kept going.
This one won't do that.
Yeah.
And he's talking about the live feed, I think it's 10 people, is that right? 10.
So there's packages you can buy. 10 people is $30 a month, so that's $360 a year. You can get 25 people for $60 a month. I mean, I'm sure you can just keep adding. I don't foresee where we would need more than 10 people at one time viewing an event.
Craig, Bill, what are your thoughts?
You get budgeted money to pay for it,
Where you got the money?
then I would make a motion that we...
For the drone now, the license and stuff like that, we have a turning fund for that.
You got a grant or something taken for some of this, right?
We got a grant through Walmart for the additional cost of it.
Right.
And he got some donations, I got some other stuff coming in donation-wise, maybe pay for the $150 per person for the testing, and then the $30 a month.
Where are you buying it?
We get a lot of our equipment through CDWG. They're kind of a middleman company. We get all our computer stuff through them. I asked my contact, I'm like, Steve, do you by chance do anything with drones? He's like, yeah, actually we do. They're actually the lowest price I've found it so far.
I think it'd be a great thing.
Yeah.
Make a motion to...
See it as an asset. Les?
Well, just one additional comment. I think what we learned out there was this drone sense is probably the optimal software. I mean, it's just its ability to share. So, you know, and my brother-in-law's with Allen County Sheriff's Department. They don't use drones. So, even from one drone in Allen County Sheriff's Department's drone can't share information with the other. So, I guess my strong encouragement would be, you know, if I buy in, then I need to use drone sense. If the street department's going to, that we stay on the same, because then in a major emergency where, you know, I don't need to see what Jeremy does day to day, but we have a tornado, we have some big event, then at least you've got all these other people that are all, you know, Kerr or whoever, you're using drone sense. When you need to share, you can share. And that was the cool thing, I think, that Fort Wayne was, they were sharing with Fort Wayne Parks. They go out and do some recon missions, and not recon and criminal activity, but just, you know, go out and recon the park and do some things. And the Fort Wayne City could fly that, the police department could fly that mission and just simply send that information to the Parks Department an hour or two later, and, you know, so it's not like you have to tie up 4 or 5 people. Oh, I'm going to fly, so I need to go log in, and, you know, Kevin can say, hey, we went out and did recon a building just for pre-planning. 2 hours later, he sends it to me, I drop it into that file, and it's very iOS, Apple friendly. That was one of the things with iPads and those and phones, Apple devices, it works very well. So, I mean, just if we're going to do this, just make sure we're consistent in software and the ability to share that easily without a lot of complications.
Okay, so Kevin?
I would think Bill could use it for code enforcement too. Possibly, might be touchy the warrant situation, but I mean, if you're flying the area. Kurt, okay.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
So what is it you need from us tonight?
Just approval that we can purchase it, and the licensing, and Tim's on board to help us get the
Paperwork done.
the paperwork. They would probably do an MOU with Allen County Fort Wayne, so if they need us, vice versa, they'll come and help us out. And
That's what some of
this.
this. That's what some of this meeting was on Friday. Was establishing basically a network. Homeland Security was there and talking about. I mean, this was the very first meeting, but they're talking about establishing a network of who has drones, what their abilities are, what their licensings are, if they can fly at night, over people, whatnot. And then that way, as an example, the plane crash that happened just north of our county line in Allen County a few weeks ago, had they needed drone pilots for that, hey, we've in this network that they could blast out, hey, we need 2 more drone pilots at this location or any available in your county, and then we could yay or nay. Just a...
Okay.
The MOU's method of operation, understanding the regulations. That's exactly important, you guys would know that.
Similar to our fire mutually agreements.
I make a motion that we accept the proposal to have a police drone and authorize Tim to draw the paperwork that I just asked for.
Let's second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. The next thing that Chris needs to deal with,
Can I have one more question? They have, excuse me, Ken, they already have a drone with Adams County with the GIS system. Is this the same software or what?
I've always heard there's a drone. I've never seen it, so I don't know.
It's big. It got probably...
Right.
Here, put the back of the squad car, it's this big.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah, this fits in a Pelican case. It's actually pretty small.
Okay.
They put 30,000 miles on there.
I just wondered if there was
One, but-
things that were common about it or
If
what.
you want to give me that amount of money, I will
No.
go buy the bigger one.
I think that happened about 10 years ago too. Didn't mean to stir it up, I just wondered if there was any compatibility. Carry on.
I got an email from Lenny. I mean, it was just a follow-up email, but it says, as you know, Sergeant Jamie Tharp suddenly retired last week with no standard 2-week notice. We had just had sergeant interviews a few weeks ago, which were only 2 candidates available, Officer Derek Loshi and Officer Corey Ham. Both were very well deserving, but the promotion ultimately went to Officer Loshi. He emailed all of us, and I think we're all in agreement. He talked to Officer Ham, and he is still very much interested in the sergeant position. And what Chris is here for tonight is to see if we want to go through the total application process, or since it was just a couple of weeks ago, if we want to go ahead and offer the position to Corey Ham. And I think we were all in agreement that we were all in favor of doing that. He's very capable, whatever. Yep.
Very good guy. He's squared away. I mean, he's in a Derek or never that.
So we'll make that official with a vote. Then also recommend to the Board of Works that it's okay to start application process.
Tomorrow, if possible.
Yeah. So.
We're looking for a lateral, if possible. If we can't go lateral, we'll do the whole process.
Yeah. So if someone's so inclined to make that motion, that we would go ahead and offer the position to Corey Ham, and then also for them to go ahead with the application process.
So moved. Yeah, second.
All in favor? Aye. No brainer. Yeah. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Kevin. Excuse me?
While we're on that, do you want to
Oh, yeah. We have a matter of record to make also, and that would be,
also make Jamie lieutenant?
I would like to make, and can I do it all in one sweep? All separately? Okay.
Do the two promotions.
The certificate of appointment for Derek Loshi to sergeant and Kevin Gerber to detective lieutenant. I would like to make those certificates of appointment a matter of record.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And then the other would be the retirement letter that was submitted by Jamie Tharp. I'd like to make that a matter of record.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
I need everybody's signature. There's 4 copies, 2 for each officer, because they get 1 copy and I get 1.
The next Wednesday, we'll do Corey Story at 4 o'clock.
Yes,
You guys come?
October 23rd, Wednesday, 4 p.m.
Probably going to be
Officer Ham will be sworn in as a sergeant.
That takes Jamie's spot.
Yes. We're hoping to keep everybody, with one guy looking possible.
Take pictures, I'm going to be out of town, Ken.
We will.
Okay.
We hope no one leaves, but you never know.
You said 4 copies, I only see 2.
Do we get everything passed we needed to, Ken, on that?
Excuse me?
Do we get everything that we needed to cover on the police officers and the...
You just gave me the 2 pages of something. 1, 2. Yeah, I think we got everything covered after we sign it.
I
Sign all
didn't
these.
know if you needed any more motions.
Motions? I don't think so.
Not being...
Jamie's departure, is he got firearms?
Yes, we're going to send, Casey Springer's been very helpful in that, so his school's not until January. For the initial school, it takes about a year. So I called Dave Laddy over Sheridan County, they're going to pay it for free this year. They'll only the 401 PD or Allen County range.
I'll pass it back if you want to send
Senator
it.
Secretary do it for free.
Well,
Someplace in charge. Here's a pen, right here, buddy.
Pen died.
We don't need to sign this one.
That was Jamie's letter. Same matter of record.
I also have a notice here to read. I want to make a matter of record. I, Jason Beery, will resign my position as meter reader with the City of Decatur effective October 11th, 2019. His last day was the 10th. And that's signed by him and department head. Make that
Make that a matter of record. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Nobody right now. I mean, Kevin's scrambling. It's been posted internally. The next it'll go outside. Trying to determine, Kevin helped me out. I mean, I think what Kevin told me was that right now most of the meters are drive-by reads, but each day there's about 50 that have to be walked.
Yeah,
roughly.
There's some that are 30, some that are 90.
So
You know the pen.
we're not even positive that it's going to be a full-time job. We're not sure. Kevin and Bill Carpenter are working through it right now.
Must have ran out of money.
Probably going to have to do a little time study analysis themselves.
Yeah, it'll likely be a
This is out.
meter reading audit.
Yeah. Tell you later.
Where's he going?
Tell you later.
Oh.
Okay. Any more matters of records?
Change order.
Yep, I got change order for Hannah Nutman from Fleming.
We good?
3 of them, I believe. Yes, you're done.
Okay.
Wait, all of them.
We need your autograph, I guess. Somebody
I
does.
don't, I
Well,
just,
Kevin, for...
She just wants to give this to you, Kevin.
and I guess, Chris, you want to give
Craig.
Eric his,
Yes,
one, please.
Okay.
Here's This is, that one's
I
capital.
already mentioned that.
We can do change orders, doesn't matter.
California to qualify to get us for free because Jamie's our instructor. How are you, buddy? Good. Why are you? Glad you opened Dave.
You're going to get that to Derek. Thank you.
Sweet. Thanks, guys.
You're still wearing the same color.
I am. It feels like a long day, Wiley.
Yeah, grab the change orders for...
It seems like a long time ago.
3, 4, and 5.
Not the ones you have today.
We'll hold off on them until we
There's
talk
one
to
thing
Jeremy.
after the next.
I sent them to him. I told him. I'll talk to him.
Okay. We'll go ahead and start this while Craig's not in here, but there's 3 change orders for Hannah Nutman from Fleming. They were just additional charges. Phyllis, you want to cover them?
The first one is to haul stone from Stone Street, 1,102.63. And the next change order, number 4, was haul baseball diamond dirt, 54 loads, $8,100.
That's 54 loads. Okay.
And then haul number 2 stone from Stone Street, and then stone from Stone Street, it was 139.72 tons, and then 19.57, total of $884.06.
8406.
So the total, all 3 change orders is $10,086.69.
Say that again, please. 10,000?
$10,086.69. And Jeremy has reviewed these.
Yep.
Change order for Fleming.
There's 3 change orders for Fleming for various hauling and hauling stone, hauling diamond dirt, etc. 3 total, $10,086.69. 10,086.69.
Make a motion to approve change order?
Second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you, Phyllis. Next, I have a contract from Community Fiber Services for internet at Northwest Elementary School, which we need to have to make pretty much everything else work. So even though we're not occupying the building right now to make everything else work, we need to have it.
That would be fire protection.
Yeah, yep. They have offered us,
They're going to install the fiber cable for
Free.
free. They're donating that to us. And then it's $69.95 a month.
for 12 meg,
And
I don't know how you read this, 12 Bps/5. When's the download speed and what's...
One upload speed.
Yeah. Don't ask me which is what. That's a 2-year contract.
The other thing too, they're setting it up so that once that building really becomes occupied, those entities that occupy it will be like third party, and then they can order whatever
they,
they want.
What they want.
This is basic to take care of what needs to be done for the building. Infrastructure. And then they can supply to the vendors, what they want.
If there's multiple vendors or whatever, they can all, yeah, okay, cool, yeah. So, did you review this?
I did. The only question, and I saw, you sent it to me, and I just looked at it very quickly. The only thing I saw was the timing of payment of claims. I think it should work, but they said that they're due by the 7th of the month, and we could have a meeting on the 7th. So, I don't know if they're receptive to making it to the 10th of the month or
do
something
you
like
want me
that.
to just email them
I
back?
just explained to them that because
Pay on the first
of the way our
of the month.
meetings fall,
Yeah.
is it okay to make a motion to do this and then leave Phyllis in contact with the internet service provider for billing date confirmation?
I was impressed, pleased that they would do the service for, as far as...
Yeah.
Install, yeah.
Install free.
Right, second, yeah.
Motion and a second to move forward with Community Fiber Solutions for Northwest Building. All in favor?
Aye.
I think
Opposed?
that's what they're looking at as future income.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Different.
Did you have a chance to review those things today? I have down here on my agenda, Northwest School Fire Alarm Inspections and Monitoring Agreement. And it was kind of something that we really wanted Kurt and/or Tim Bauman to review, and I just got it in Kurt's hands today, and it was several pages long.
I briefly went through it. Who's the company from ESCO Communications? Are
Yeah.
they monitoring it now? Or is this something new?
They have been, I believe that's the company that did it for North Adams, and that's why Jeremy contacted them to continue that.
North Adams is continuing to use ESCO at campus, and Southeast and Northwest Wood and ESCO.
North Adams has used that company for a number of years.
I mean, going through here, I guess the only thing I would question, it does say that we have to provide names of contact people, whoever you're going to put in charge of being contacted for this. It says hard copy of reports and testing available on request. Make that mandatory every time they do a test or they do maintenance, they supply that automatically to somebody. Just like Fortune does for here.
Meaning an email copy or digital copy?
Something.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I do too.
Which they do
We do
that.
the same thing, the elevator company does the same thing, it's automatic.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be whoever you want to be first contacted. First responder.
Either fire department, police department, or
Yeah.
both.
Both. I would say both.
Wiley, do you know? Yes, who's
Who's in charge of the sprinklers
for the
as
schools?
far as monitoring and
I think that's part of that. Isn't that part of that contract?
ESCO
That's
monitors
part,
the sprinkler system.
who's in charge of maintenance for repair and test for the sprinkler system?
That Carson?
Now, I can see the truck that is set down here, North Adams today, Belmont.
Nowak?
it's not Fire One, is it? No.
Is that something these guys can do?
They can't do fire, they can't do the
They can't do the actual inspection, right?
Corson or Viper or Viper, one of the sprinkler companies that have.
But I think Jeremy's in touch with them too on that.
All they do is monitor.
Yeah.
Like
okay with that.
we did, we went to Parsons across the board.
Right.
For monitoring, and maintenance, the whole shebang. So, I mean,
And if we have to use somebody other than, I would highly recommend them. We like, you got a good relationship with them.
So, I mean, other than that, that's about all I came up with.
Okay.
Going through these. I would definitely make the testing and the reports mandatory every time they do it. Whoever-
Is there a fee associated with that on the contractor?
Yeah, they're billing you for everything you can.
Yeah.
It came up to annually $1,888.
Monitor, they third party out there monitoring, so, like ADT or somebody like that. Corson does all, like a Fleetwood, Corson does all the maintenance, but ADT is Fleetwood.
There's the fire alarm.
You're looking at
Internet fire
You're
alarm.
looking at
That's another agreement.
annual fee of $1,888.
Annually.
And then to monitor, there's another bid here to monitor the internet cellular agreement, and that's an additional
400 and some?
$95.
$495?
I do have a question on the internet and cellular monitor. It does stipulate in here, if there's a false alarm, you have to pay them to come down and reset it. there any way somebody down here can be trained to research from here?
No idea.
I would think so.
I mean,
Usually a button.
I'd like to make a motion that we put this under advisement between Kurt and our fire inspector,
I
and
agree.
give
And
the
also include Jeremy.
And Jeremy.
and Jeremy, and allow the
lives in town,
huh?
preferably somebody who lives in town.
Correct.
Gets it.
Right, and then give the mayor permission to sign off on
Once
these
they're-
3 department guys' decisions in final order and recommendation.
Second.
Know that, Barb?
You like that, Ken?
Yeah, perfect. Perfect.
What's the name of this company?
ESCO.
ESCO.
ESCO. They're like
They've been around a long
1888
time.
annually, and then
Right,
495
so it's like
for internet
22, 23.
surveillance.
So I have a motion and a second to take this under advisement between Kurt, Tim Bauman, and Jeremy Gilbert. And after they've made any
Negotiated.
amendments and negotiated with ESCO on things that need amended, gives me permission to go ahead and sign off on it then. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thanks.
That's good, right?
Yeah, okay, absolutely.
And then this will all come out of the common council budget.
All come out of the common council budget. The Pazer pavement analysis and MVH review from Butler, Fairman, Seifert. You have that right, Phyllis? She's printed it off. Well, she's getting that. I don't know if you've all heard or not, or read the papers, whatever. We did not get community crossings this go-around. And Jeremy and I are neither one upset about it. It's cool. I mean, we got plenty of work to do. We've talked to Toby Steffen with Butler, Fairman, Seifert. We'll just go right back in January, is it, Matt? Yeah. And go again, and we'll get it. You know, it's just gonna, you just have to be persistent. That's kind of the same system everybody else gets, unless you're one of the preferred cities in Indiana. But we'll get it, and it's not that upsetting. We got, like I said, plenty of work to do. So, what we have here is an agreement for something called, what was it, Pazer Pavement Analysis and MVH Review. Matt, you know much about this? Or Don, either one of you? Okay. Okay. And this is kind of what you guys then use in turn for when we decide what streets are going to get? Okay. I didn't realize there was some system. I thought you guys just graded them yourself. I didn't know there was.
Here's kind of the scope of work and the trailer road system.
Is that in here also, is this?
Yeah, this is just second
What
copy.
page on?
And past page 2 of 1. Go past the signature page.
Mm-hmm.
We've been using this for a while, haven't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To me, it's
That's task 1.
the best and most fair way to...
Inventory of road street system will be conducted utilizing the GIS and traditional center lines as utilized by state and federal agencies. Butler, Fairman, Seifert inspection team will visually rate each roadway segment for the extent and severity of observed pavement surface distress. And it goes on, what all they rate it for. And this is a, how long is this good for? I don't recall signing one of these, so it must be good for a while, huh?
My street didn't get paid. The street is supposed to be 30 years old. Look at it, it's pretty good. Croshaw gave care of it. They gave him a little... So you know what you do a little under the table.
I think this is an annual agreement, looks like here. Pavement collection would be from September through October 2019 for a 2020 rating. So it looks like it's just a one-year deal, and it's, well, here we go. Pavement inventory evaluation assessment's $3,500, and the MVH analysis is $2,300. Total $5,800. I don't, Matt, do you know how often we've done this? Okay. I said, because I don't recall signing one of these before. Well, I've been mayor, I don't recall it. So,
Can I say something real
yeah,
quick?
go ahead.
I believe that this is a planning pathway to receive...
Community crossings.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, we've been doing it.
The $5,000 that we spend on this basically proves a point that
That's a no-brainer.
we receive an additional $800,000 at the end of the year last year. So,
With the motion, I'm going to have everybody sign
very
this.
good money spent. If I need a motion, I'd be happy to do that.
Go ahead.
I would like to make a motion that you continue with the engineering firm
Butler Firm and Cypher.
to do our
Hazer analysis, or whatever it was.
our
abbreviation.
paving analysis or whatever it be.
It's a
So
total,
moved. Second.
it's a total of $5,800, and this will be paid from the local road and street fund.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you. I talked to Zach Benedict with MKM today. And Melissa, I haven't even talked to you about this, but he called and said that he had a meeting with Kevin Biggs last week, and they got talking about our first floor of the loft apartment building. And Zach said after talking with Kevin, he would like permission to go back to Kevin and talk to their team about, and show them our bid specs that we used, and see if they would be interested in them bidding it. And just flat out telling them that we need a price that's going to come in at probably $150,000 or less. We had $200 budget. And just see what kind of Kevin's feelings are. Kevin will probably have to pass it off to like a Steve Hankinson or somebody that does that. And then, if they think that they can do that, then we put it out for sealed, what's the word, quotes, not bids, quotes, because it would be under $150,000. That way they don't have to go through all the bonding, all that stuff, and see what we get in the way of bids.
You have to invite bids from at least
Right.
three
Right.
contractors that perform that type of work. If it's under $150,000,
Right.
you can do the sealed quotes, you don't have to do sealed bids. But I'd be careful about, you can share with them that we can go that route if the project cost looks to be under $150,000. I don't think you want to go and tell them that it has to be under $150,000, because now you're getting into an issue of,
Comes at $149,999.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then you don't want to go there. Just,
And I
the
may
break-even
have
for
repeated
bidding it
this
or sealed quotes is $150.
a little different than what Zach kind of had an idea here that he thought would be worthy of looking into, and he just wanted my okay to kind of pursue talking with them. He also thinks that IDEA would be very interested in it because with the first floor not being finished, it doesn't help lease out the second and third floors.
Exactly.
So he thinks because of that and because of the situation we had the first go around. Yeah, Melissa.
So, we would, that suggestion, ask them to review and make suggestions, and then we would allow them to bid on it?
No, not to make suggestions, to take the same bid specs that that company, whatever they're called, those specs, no suggestions. Not revising the bid spec, the last bid spec that we reduced it down to,
Okay.
that bid spec.
Okay. So what's Biggs gonna do with that?
He just wants to have a conversation with Kevin. He wanted to know if I was okay with it. I said, let me run it by Board of Works to make sure. I could have just said, yeah, go ahead, but I wanted to...
Right.
He's not going to do anything. He just wants to kind of feel them out, and if he thinks that Biggs would want to see this thing, then yes, then we'd put it out for up to 3 quotes.
Where Biggs could,
And Biggs could be one of
Could
them.
it?
Yeah.
is that kosher?
Yeah, there's,
I mean,
as long as
would
it's-
they be getting some kind of pre-look, or they would know exactly what the bid is?
or you have to have, if you're going to do a sealed quote, you have to give the specifications to everybody that's being invited to quote, so they're going to have that same information. So,
Oh, we want to stay with the same bid?
Plan?
Yeah.
Well, we've already revised it down from what it originally was quite a bit. And there may be some other things we could pull out of it. I really don't know. Cam, were you in that meeting, weren't you? Okay, I know we took out all the track lighting. We took out the what? Where you at here? What?
Glass atrium doors in the one office.
Yeah, the glass atrium doors. We took out a sink in the conference room area.
Did we do,
Or that we were talking about pulling out.
did you do all this before we got the last bid that was?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, after we met with MKM, we pulled out all these things, then they took it back to that.
Hamilton 100.
Thank you. And they still came at 197. And it was really like 250 something or 258 something like
And the
that.
first time, they didn't even come down here and look at it.
Yeah.
If you do have an atrium you want to fill some space with, Main Street still has that glass,
Mm.
never materialized, but we pay insurance on it.
So,
I think it's good. I think we need to go forward with that.
well, at some point in time, we need to move forward,
Yep.
and you know, we can sit around, we can wait on the recession to come so we can do it cheaper.
Yeah.
But that's not an answer. You know, we need to, I think our best bet is to see if we can get 3 local quotes. Adam?
Start taking out chunks of it, like, plumbing and electrical have to be done first, and we put the plumbing and electrical out for bid.
well, if you're doing it in a way that you're trying to get, avoid the bid requirements, a sealed bid
I don't think
requirement.
you'd be trying to avoid that by any means. I'd say you'd be avoiding the general contractor cost of the...
Well, I understand, yeah, you can, if you're going to bid it out, separate contracts, you
I feel like-
can be your own contractor.
If I had I don't know, everybody's busy now, so I don't want to speak for them, but you might be able to get a little better pricing if you were getting 3 plumbers in town to quote the plumbing, or 3 electricians rather than one guy that uses certain subcontractors. You're only going to get one price.
I mean, that's what, years ago, when they did the service complex, they did that. They broke out and they had individual contracts for different trades. But you
That's
did
how we
it.
did the police
Yeah,
department.
I think they try to do the sheriff's, the
Police department?
police department that way, or
Yeah, our
jail.
PD was looking at
The
that.
jail, I think they did that way too. They broke it down and they were able to get more local contractors and a better price by doing it.
Mhm.
Would you like to take the lead on this, Tyler, to help us get through this?
I was going to say, it takes somebody in
Seriously.
state government to oversee that.
I mean, if you're going to bid on it, you recruit yourself down the road, but
I think
I
that
can think-
you're
I think that my personal opinion is I'd like to go ahead and get this knocked out.
Yeah.
I'd really like to use local contractors, especially going into winter, because as it cools off, they're probably going to have...
Look for some inside jobs.
But you need somebody to oversee that.
Yeah. Is that something you'd like to do, Kurt?
Gee, thanks.
Uh-huh.
I think Tyler,
Yeah, when the county did it at the service complex, they actually hired Roger Ripley to
yeah.
service
GC.
their, yeah.
Okay.
What do you want me to do, guys? Do you want me to go ahead and have MCAM?
I don't care. Depends on how you're gonna do it. If you're gonna divide it up between the jobs, or it's electrical, plumbing, all right. But if you're gonna send it out for 3 full bids on it, I don't know what to do.
But you would go along with getting the things done individually with local contractors.
I strongly
You-
believe it can be done a lot cheaper.
Yeah, there's
Not that much there.
Not there, didn't you?
Would that be okay?
Okay, well then I'm going to go back to Zach and we'll start over
I
here.
think what you gotta
Look at
do
the
is,
meeting schedule.
you're gonna have to break out each one of them, and you're gonna have to have specs for each one.
Tyler, maybe if I can get a meeting with him, you can come sit in on that.
Yeah, I'll help Kurt, so we'll get-
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks,
Perfect.
Tyler.
Thanks, Tyler.
What time is it? Don, you got those pictures? Today I was out and about and driving by the Marks Heating building. You know, it's just something that we've owned it now for, since right after I became mayor. And we haven't done a darn thing to it, really. And I took some pictures of it.
It's a good storage area.
It's a good storage building, but take a look at it. I mean, if we're going to just not do anything, now, if that was someone's home, we wouldn't be happy with that. Zoom in.
Wasn't there something covering that?
Yep.
It's
There was a-
rotted away.
Yeah. And I don't know where that sign got off to. And the shingles on the front of that roof are nasty. We got gutter falling down. I mean, we just need to get in there and do something of it. If we're not going to decide what to do with the building long term, as far as riverfront development, whatever we want to try to endorse that building for someone to come in and put a business in there? Are we still hopeful of utilizing it for artists? Could an artist even go in there right now? Is it chock
Or
full of
maybe
stuff?
it just needs to be tore down.
Yeah, I'm just want to start that discussion.
It's plumb full right now, other than the office area,
So if a artist wanted to go in there and weld, they couldn't.
unless we move everything out.
Yeah.
So
So we're going to do with everything we have stored there.
So it's full of equipment?
it's got equipment, it's got all kinds of stuff.
In my perfect world, that is a makerspace. And I mean, the lofts are cool, but those are tiny little spaces that you can't do welding and all that. But we also know in order to do that, you're going to have to put money into it. You're going to have to get fire suppression in it.
The elevator shaft fell in, kind of, all the insulation laying on the floor of the first
The
floor.
ceiling just falls down in parts of it.
There's that one picture of the elevator shaft from the other side. I mean,
See the metal here?
It's our own fault.
I sent you 2 emails, 6 pictures.
I'm inclined to say tear it down too. However, where do we put all this equipment we've got stored up in
Right there you go.
Put it in a building. It's one of-
That's the south side of that elevator shaft from the outside.
I'd like to
Yeah, we
have a
put the
blank
plywood up
canvas.
because the door blowed off of it. And when it rains from the south, that water goes right through that, so it's not really sealed up.
And like I said, if this was one of our residences in town, we'd be concerned about it. But yet, this is ours, and we need to quit turning a blind eye to it and
Where would
make
we
some
put
decisions.
the stuff that's sitting there if we didn't have this building?
No idea.
Build us another building?
Cold storage unit out
If you'd have told me back when we bought the Baker Schultz building for the Public Works Department, that we wouldn't have any room down there, I'd have said, you're crazy. But I know Jeremy says, if we want to keep things under cover, it's full. So, any way we could tear down the building but leave the other side, the pole bedding part?
Another wall, I have to put a wall in on one end.
I'd say if you're tearing it down, you might as well take it all down and go to the barn. Put up
pole barn somewhere.
Old barn on Elm Street, inside the fence down there. You know,
Carrie's building.
Yep, it belongs to the utility department.
I remember when we first got that and we all went over there to look at it. And we kind of said,
Yeah,
we'd better get rid of this thing.
I think we need to put some thought into it, just put it in the back of your mind, think about
Either
it.
doll it up or get rid of it.
Yeah. So, that's all I had.
How many days?
Anything that you had, Tim, to add on the agenda?
Okay.
Phyllis, anything? We got time to get you a copy, bud. I look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Board of Works is adjourned.